Could you really be vampires?
Hello, I'm Laura.
I'm Arseni. We are Party For Introverts, and we are making a narrative RPG about vampires called Cabernet. We don't really take projects, especially the ones like this that are developed throughout many years, without some emotional background.
It kind of really became a fully fledged idea to us once we connected the idea of vampirism actually as a metaphor for alcoholism.
Vodka isn't really something I drink nowadays.
The impact on relationships that you can have in your life could be kind of expounded upon in a video game setting playing as a vampire. The protagonist of our game, Lisa, she is essentially an apprentice doctor, a recent graduate of the medical academy.
We kind of put her in that position as a vampire where she requires a substance in order to survive. We also have another tagline to our game, which is demons are hereditary. In the story of the game has come from a family in which there was a struggle with addiction.
Alcohol's my father's problem. It isn't mine.
So it's definitely more so reflecting on her kind of past experiences dealing with others and kind of seeing and examining a little bit of the story of her new vampiric life through that lens.
There you go. Where's Lisa? I don't know.
It was super important for us to give agency to the player as much as we could, despite just a narrative focus. There's also a fantasy of being a vampire. Flying actually turned out to be a mechanic that everybody seems to be excited about.
So we have flying, we have hypnotism, invisibility, obviously feeding, and you'll kind of get to explore these and kind of learn as Lisa is learning how to use them and how they can, impact your story for better or for worse. There's a lot of ways people define agency, especially in video games. Although there are different endings you absolutely can have. So we have quite a cast of characters that you can have some type of relationship with. You as a player have a bit of agency in how their stories turn out and how that can kind of shape the color of the story as you go further with it. And for us, that's the really powerful thing, and that's why we love kind of choice and decisions in game.
That sounds cruel.
I think there's beauty in making little choices that have a deep consequence despite the fact that it's not obvious.
But saying that also, there are some pretty big choices you make throughout even just the main narrative that absolutely impact characters' decisions, characters' lives.
What have you done to my wife?
Hopefully the players will enjoy both the subtleties as well as these kind of bigger decisions that they'll face.
He is a grown man and can make his own decisions. It's the principle of the matter.
For us, number one is always, does this person feel like this character? Is there an authenticity to who they are? You're working with just the dialogue on the page and you're trying to connect all these scenarios that are still to be either programmed out or the actor's not going to see. For us, what was really important in our game was that it was pretty naturalistic.
Everyone becomes a little clairvoyant if they live long enough and pay attention.
Some people we did proper casting for. Some people we reached out to directly.
She saw me at the town market and saw some real potential in my work. The craftsman is only as good as their tool.
Brian David Gilbert, we just love his work so much, and we, even before we reached out, we kind of envisioned Peter's character with his mannerisms and, when we wrote the script. So when he accepted, it was really, really pleasant, and there were some other stories just like that. Some people came to our studio, which is a decorated walk-in wardrobe in our bedroom, basically. So we had some pretty high-profile actors come by and just step into our little
foam padded
square.
I'm not dwelling. I'm merely lamenting briefly.
Definitely one of the most rewarding things about making this game. And it's 1,200-page script. There's a lot of it.
You will be very popular living in these parts. If you don't mind, I'd like to spend some time with my thoughts.
Honestly, we love to just get it all out for each actor. And you can always usually find like a really good rhythm, which is lovely and fun process to find with the actor.
We had a very particular way of doing this. We think it was very time efficient.
We had a really clear vision of kind of how we wanted most of these lines to sound. And of course, sometimes actors, surprised us and did incredible things on their own. We were very fortunate in this regard,
I'm Lisa, the doctor's new recruit.
I'm the voice of Lisa. Lisa kind of plays a very grounding figure in the game. It's slightly odd as the main character because you have to be a little bit of kind of a foil that everybody can, kind of play towards and relate in some way.
No, I can't do this.
We wanted her to still have empathy though, especially at the beginning of the game. Being a doctor is still important to her. Her family, she, is one of the first things she thinks of when she wakes up as a vampire.
Mom? Cola?
We wanted the player to find a little bit of themselves in Lisa, whilst her still being kind of her own fully fledged character that existed before and exists throughout the story. I knew exactly how I wanted these lines to come out, and so I got a lot of energy from that. For us, since we were the ones kind of holding the keys, we would just go. We had like 6-hour sessions, plenty of times.
I'm very, very happy with the quality we got. I mean, Laura was brilliant, truly.
Really? No one understands my jokes.
For me personally, it is a little strange to expect the character to speak in a British accent.
We decided that our approach was going to be completely different. For us, it was more important the authenticity. We would rather have an authentic emotional experience that the actors have.
Yeah, we definitely didn't want people to imitate an accent that is not authentic to them.
We do have some Eastern European actors, and we did actually, in all of our casting calls that went public, we really did try to encourage Eastern European submissions. So that was something that we, of course, wanted in our game. For us, it was more important to get the right person for the character rather than some fake accent, hiding a lot of things and trying to that just kind of distracts you at a certain point.
Quickly, Lisa, get inside. It's not safe here.
There were some monologues that were meant to be impactful. I was very happy with basically everything she did. So.
There's some dream sequences because it's very important, the idea of vampire slumber. I love the artwork at this point, kind of like these moving silhouettes and some voiceover to these kind of dreams.
You sing so well, Mommy.
Those for me were beautiful moments. As you'll notice, our language, your language, is intentionally modern, yet finding ways to take kind of this modern vernacular but still have beauty behind it.
We wanted it to feel like a conversation people are going to want to have or to listen to.
I've never seen the doctor like this. What's happening to him?
I think it was especially impactful when it was read by the talented actors that we got.
You've already disappointed me once. Please, don't do it again.
Each of them has their own likes, dislikes, mannerisms, and interests. You may want to engage with them or not. You may want to piss them off or not.
Thanks to Uncle, we live in a grand house for pennies.
And there's also kind of a misconception that this is a game about eating the rich. And it's not.
It can be, but
it's not. That's where the role-playing element kicks in, I suppose.
Let's not be too hasty, Gosha. We don't know where her loyalties lie yet.
You can like certain characters despite the fact that they may do pretty terrible things. You as a player will probably have to do pretty terrible things as well, even if you are in like the goody two-shoes boat, I hope we did a decent job at it.